was, they were so different. You know, nowadays, a lot of music is very reflective, and you get a lot of records that are next to each other in the charts, and they don't sound a lot dissimilar. But the Zombies at the time were like nothing else around.
Well, no one told me about her. What could I do? Well, no one told me about her. Though they all knew. But it's too late to say you're sorry. How would I know? Why should I care? Please don't bother trying to find her. She's not there. Well, let me tell you about the way she looked, the way she acted, the color of her hair. Her voice was soft and cool, her eyes were clear and bright. But she's not there.
Well, this is St Etheldreda's Church Hall in Hatfield, and this is the very, very first place that we rehearsed as the Zombies. Colin and I both lived in Hatfield, and this is why we use this place right from the word go to do our very, very first rehearsals.
Quite an unusual place for rock and roll.
It is, isn't it? But I think the building was probably inspirational to us at the time, if you think about it. This was the very, very early days, but of course leading up to the style and the influence that would eventually lead us on to She Is Not There, which was rehearsed in Rod's front room.
She's not there. About the way she looked, the way she acted, the color of her hair. Her voice was soft and cool, her eyes were clear and bright, but she's not there.
This is the old Verulamium's rugby club in St Albans, where we very first started to play back in 1962 to 63. Scene of some of our best gigs, I reckon.
What did it look like then?
Very similar to today. It hasn't changed a great deal. Just as cold. Those days were wonderful days, so much so that in the end they had to put a marquee on the side of the club here to accommodate all the people that would come. And the walls would be awash with sweat and the floor with beer. It was wonderful times.
I mean, the basic chords at the beginning are... into an air. That was quite an unusual change. Sometimes in covers people miss that. This F. Into the major. And then that chord, different root notes. Jazz. And then to the major key, which sets up the final section really. It's just the one note section. Then to the major. That's the bones of it, really.
Well, right now we're in the Watford Town Hall, and in 1962 or so was where the Heartsbeat competition was held, and we were fortunate enough to win. And the prize, lucky enough, was a recording session with Decca, and it was from that recording session that we recorded She's Not There. And I suppose this is really where it all started. It was packed solid. We had 2 coach loads of fans from St Albans especially came over to cheer us on, which they did.
The Zombies!
Through my family's connections, we'd met a producer, Ken Jones, who recorded it, and we'd won the contest at Watford Town Hall.
And Ken said, well, you'd be a good idea to write some material. And Rod sat down and wrote She's Not There with a few ideas that had been hanging around. And I wrote some stuff as well.
With the sort of arrogance of youth, you know, I thought, yeah, you know, I can write a song that's as good as the Beatles and everything. And I didn't see any of the pitfalls, you know. I thought, we're going to the studio, we'll record it, it'll sound fantastic. Con will sing it great, you know. It'll all sound great, and it'll come out and it'll be a hit. And it was, which was extraordinary, really. But it didn't surprise me at the time.
It was in Decca Studios in West Hampstead, which doesn't exist anymore, but it's just down the road from its more famous partner, Abbey Road. It's literally 2 miles away. The engineer, who was a very good engineer, had had a very heavy lunch, and he was very drunk. But luckily, the engineer collapsed and was literally carried out, one person on each leg and you know, another person on each arm, and he was carried out. And the assistant engineer took over, who was Gus Dudgeon, who went on to be one of the most famous producers of all time.
And so they just chucked him in a cab and sent him home, and I was sitting on the back, and it was one of those classic moments where the producer, well, went Gus, it's going to have to be you. And I was going, who, me? Yep, you better take over. So that's effectively what happened.
What's it called? Nobody told me. Oh, didn't? Nobody told me, so one.
That's the engineer. And the except on snare beat's not there either. Interesting hearing people playing together at the same time, actually, in the studio.